On April 27th, the Avengers plan on doing something that has never been done before, and that is end off 10 years of storytelling that is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But the question is, where do we go from here? FanCastit is going to let you know 5 different ways we think the Marvel Cinematic Universe is going to go after Endgame. Oh, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell for more videos just like this one. I'm Marc Samuels, and we're about to get into it. Here we go. All right, so there's a few different ways that we can go in terms of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and storytelling. A lot of different people, including Kevin Feige, have hinted at the fact that they would like to go in a more cosmic direction. And of course, with the acquisition of Fox and all of its properties, including the Fantastic Four and the X-Men, there's pretty much limitless amount of places that they can go from a storytelling perspective. So, which one are they going to choose? We have no idea, but we do have 5 different ideas of which direction we think that they can go after this phase is completed. So, number 1, cosmic. All right, Captain Marvel, the movie, showed us 2 things. One is that the Skrulls are wildly entertaining and amazing new additions into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. 2 is that Marvel is actually pretty good at telling a mystery story. All right, so what we would like to see is Marvel take on the iconic comic line Secret Invasion. For those of you who haven't had a chance, you really should check it out. Secret Invasion is really about the Skrulls coming to Earth and pretending to be different members of the Marvel Universe, and it creates an entire wave of hysteria. Who's a Skrull, who's not a Skrull, and we would love to see that played out on the big screen. Plus, of course, we can show up the fact that just because some of the Skrulls were benevolent in Captain Marvel doesn't necessarily mean that every single Skrull has the exact same goals. Just like on planet Earth, some people are dictators and some people are decent. Which one are these? Idea number 2, interdimensional. 2018's breakout hit had to be Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. All right, where again, we broke new ground by telling a story that was set in multiple different dimensions and nobody even questioned it. Of course, it was a lot easier when the narrator of said multiple dimensions was the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. We think that we can do a story with a tour guide that's just as familiar. Of course, I'm talking about the Fantastic Four. I would love to see a multiverse, multi-dimension hopping Fantastic Four adventure beyond the limits of time and space, and see exactly how many different ideas they can play around with that. We can take in all kinds of Marvel craziness in terms of storytelling, like Fing Fang Foom, Doctor Doom, and of course Galactus and Silver Surfer. Make it happen, Marvel. Idea number 3, political. It's no secret that North American society is a lot more divided than it's been in a long time. And this is kind of a trend that's going on around the world. Political leaders are posturing a lot more like fascist dictators, and the world is kind of becoming a scary place. Now, contrary to what a lot of people think, comic books and comic book stories have always been on the pulse of political divide and social change. So I don't see why the MCU should be any different. Yes, it's an escapist fantasy, but if there's no messaging behind it, there really isn't a huge point to it all. So, this is where I would love to see the X-Men brought in. Yes, we had X-Men movies. Yes, they did very well. No, they're not going to be making any other ones unless they're under the brand of Marvel. So we might as well rebrand and bring them in so we can talk about some social issues, some very necessary social issues and social change. All right, so idea number 4. There's a lot of places where the Marvel Cinematic Universe has gone, and one of those places is to the past. Captain America, the first Avenger, took place in the 40s during World War II. Ant-Man featured a scene that took place in the 60s, and of course Captain Marvel was set in the 90s. What I would like to see is maybe something that's a little more in the future. That would be pretty cool. All right, and I'm of course talking about the storyline that has been kind of forgotten, but I would love to see make a comeback. Young Avengers. Young Avengers was a great comic book imprint and had a wide array of great characters, some of whom are based on, inspired by, and or even direct descendants of the original lineup of the Avengers. And of course, they are diverse, they're great characters, and most importantly, They're young adults, which means there is a whole lot more drama to be thrown in there. And you know what? It would take the Marvel Cinematic Universe into the YA territory, which is not a terrible business move. All right, last but not least, and what I think is going to be the most obvious choice for where the Marvel Cinematic Universe goes, that is all new, all different Marvel. All New, All Different Marvel was a very heavily promoted shakeup that happened in the Marvel Comics universe. And I think that the MCU is shaping up to do something that is at least very similar, or at the very least inspired by. We already know that characters like Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor are going to be moving on. So where are they going to move on to? Well, All New, All Different Marvel definitely has a few answers for that. With characters like Riri, Miles Morales, Kamala Khan, Amadeus Cho, and Jane Foster, these are definitely characters that would help ease that transition into where the Marvel Cinematic Universe could go while still maintaining old fans and gaining a whole lot of new ones. It's no secret that there was a huge push for diversity, and a lot of people aren't feeling that, but the truth is that the world looked a lot different than it did in the 60s when a lot of these characters came into fruition. It's only fair that the comic book industry, and therefore the Marvel Cinematic Universe, follow those steps and make sure that they are representing what the world looks like today. A lot more people who are reading comics are part of the African diaspora, or Latin American, or Asian, or women, or the LGBT community. And I think it's great that Marvel has embraced all of these people and started putting them into comic books so their readers can see themselves on the page and therefore see themselves in the movies. I would love to see what they do with characters like Jane Foster's Thor, X-23, and Ms. Marvel. All right, so that is our ideas for where we think the Marvel Cinematic Universe can go after this phase. If you have any ideas, let us know in the comments section. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to our channel. We love it when new people can come in and join the conversation. I am Mark Samuels, and you can find us on Instagram and on Facebook at Fancastit, and of course on YouTube here at Kelly Noir Pictures. Thank you guys very much for watching this video, and we will see you next time. Peace.